Good morning, MagHub Monday. I'm your host, Nick, and today we are going to be talking about orders. Now, in MagHub speak, these are called orders, but a lot of other programs, systems that you might be familiar with, and even maybe in your own internal processes, you call these things something different. So you think about them as quotes, or maybe even you call them proposals or estimates, something to give the customer an idea of what your pricing is before they sign up with your service. All right, so these orders in MagHub are a way for you to present pricing to your customers. And today I'm going to be giving you a 101 class on how to create orders and some best practices that we've learned over the years using the system for our own business and from helping plenty of publishers just like you. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've already logged into my MagHub site. Welcome to Order Creation 101. We're going to be talking about the basics on how you can create a multimedia order for a prospect that you're looking to show pricing to. Now, the same thing works if you're trying to create a renewal contract or an upsell or whatever it happens to be. The process is pretty similar, but we're going to start from scratch as if we've never sold to this client in the past, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm in my MagHub dashboard, and the first thing I'm going to do is I can create orders from a couple of different places, but I somehow need to get to that create order screen. The first way, and this is the fastest if you're on a random screen in the site, is by using the plus button up here at the top. So hover over this plus button and go down to add order. Okay, this is going to jump you directly into that order creation page, and it's going to start the process for you right there. Now, if you have a customer in mind, the system doesn't automatically know who that customer is. Well, at least not yet. So you have to tell it. So who are you working with? Lily and August. This is my advertiser that I'm going to go sell a campaign to. So I click on them, and it automatically sucks in all of their data into the form. Now, if I'm already on Lily and August's page, and I'll do that by searching for company, Lily and August, click on the company. Now, this is starting a form, so it's going to ask me, do you want to leave? Hit yes, in my case. So this is the company page, the overview page. You're probably very familiar with this. On the right-hand side, you'll click the drop-down, perform an action, and click order. Okay, you might be able to do this on the pending order side too. So third place to do this, you can click add new order from this page here. Now, basically what I do here is I just bypass the fact that I have to enter in the client name into the form because I started on their page, and it's just going to take me directly there and pop all the information in. Now, if I'm working with an agency, this is also something that you can factor in. So if this customer is coming to you through an agency, you can make sure to assign the correct contacts to the order from an agency perspective. And then when you add a contact from an agency or a parent company, you just have to include them in here, and it will automatically tell you what company they're with. So Hank Schrader, he's the billing contact from Compass Inc. Okay, pretty straightforward. Next step is going to be forecasting information. Now, if you create a weighted opportunity forecast, you can do that from within the system, and all you have to do is choose the pipeline and then choose your confidence level. Now, this basically tells your team and your management what is our projected forecasted revenue for an upcoming month or upcoming issue, either full value or weighted value based off of my team's perception of the opportunity. So if I'm pretty sure this group's going to sign up, I'll put this at 60%, and then in my forecast it'll show up as 60. The additional information down below shows account type, special billing flags. These are custom fields that your management team or your system may have that are different than mine. These may be required, so make sure you just check off on whichever ones you need to before moving on. Hit save. This is where I get to add all of the pricing information. And so this creates, in my system, I have several different options. Your system might look a little bit different. The reason I say that is because our impression sales module and our slot sales module are part of our new digital media sales and management module. Okay, so these are an extra module for your team to implement. We just rolled them out. Normally there's an extra fee, but we're offering some pretty interesting COVID specials right now. So reach out to your account manager if you're interested in learning more about these two modules, and then we can get them set up for you, likely for some trial period or for some reduced cost. But anyways, reach out to us if you want to try these. I'm going to show you how they work. So very straightforward. If I need to create a print ad sale, I click the plus button next to the print ad, and I choose my publication, and I choose my rate card, and actually you'll do the print rate card, and I choose my ad size, and I choose the issues that the client's going to be running in, and it's all pretty straightforward. Okay, I can also select a start issue and an end issue if I just want to select a lot of issues in a bulk section. So that's kind of a speedier way to select maybe a full year. You can just go start to end. Try that out. On the left hand side, I've got separation, category separation based off of system standards, or 4 or 16-page separation options. These are, again, custom to your site. So what you have here, if you don't want them to be right next to a competitor, this will actually flag the production team to tell them, hey, this person's really sensitive about being next to another HVAC company. Okay. There are a couple other options here. Grouping, we'll get to that actually in another order video. Section for production, placement notes, for your design team can go here. Advertising notes that you want to share with a customer, they'll actually populate directly on the order. And then you have other information down here below, these additional details, which are again more custom fields that your team might have in the system. On the right hand side, I've got pricing, and again, based on who you are as a user, you may have the option to discount to a certain degree, but you might not be able to discount down to 0 because of your permission settings. And so if you try to go to 0, you can actually see what your permission settings are set to, and a manager can come in and override that. If you have a customer that you're like, they just need a little bit more, I need to lower the price, like 5% more. Again, up to you on how you're managing this, but most folks have some level of ability to discount. Okay, you can do net. You can do dollar discounts, you can do percentage discounts. So if I just wanted to say 25% discount, it's going to automatically calculate for me. And then you may have name discounts in here as well, or upcharges. So this is a great place to, hey, we're going to do a photo shoot for you in addition to this, but it's going to cost you a little bit more money. Okay, and that'll actually show on the contract for the customer. Same thing if you wanted to create a brand new discount. You can use the the create ad hoc discount to do that. Flat amount discount or percentage amount, and then you can enter this information in so it'll show on the contract to your customer. Okay, pretty straightforward. The discounting, the selection is all very similar across the board. And so I'm going to jump directly into my impression and slot sales because I want you to see what this new module looks like. The impression sales are just that. They are, I'm going to sell 10,000 impressions across 1 month or 2 months or 5 months. And so I've got my product category here. I choose, again, this has to be set up, but I choose my digital impression sales. I choose my publication if there are multiple. And then, of course, I choose the product that I'm including here for my customer. So I've got a leaderboard, native ad, whatever. Banner ad, what channel is it going on? Maybe you have different channels on your website that cost more or cost less. That can all be set up. And then the inventory can be managed in those as well, because obviously your homepage has more impressions than your letter from the editor page. No offense to the editors, but it just doesn't get as much traffic as the homepage. So start run date. This is basically saying, hey, when are we starting this ad? On the 15th, and we're going to run it all the way through maybe November 15th. And we want how many units? This is, again, direct impressions. So you want to put in exactly how many impressions you want to run here. So 10,000, 20,000. This goes by month. It will also prorate. So if I put 10,000 in, it's going to prorate that I only have 15 days in the first month. And so it'll actually prorate that. That's actually an update that's coming out next week. Actually, it'll be this week for you guys in the next couple of days. And so it'll prorate that to 5,000. It'll cut it in half because we're only halfway through the month. You guys understand how proration works. Anyways, placement notes, pricing, all very similar, but just showing how this impression works is really cool. Hit save, and we're good to go. On the slot sales, this is really more for newsletters or podcasts or webinars, a great kind of regularly occurring sponsorship opportunity that's not impression based. So if I choose my product category, newsletter, and I choose my publication, what are we selling into? It's the MagHub Express Daily. I can choose the product, so what are we selling here? If I change my publication, the products may change too. We're just selling a title sponsor for this newsletter versus 3 different options for a different newsletter. And then all I have to do is I just have to select the days or the time slots. Again, these are all customizable that I'm selling into. And if something is not available, it will tell me in this grid that I can't sell it. So if there's a limited inventory on the newsletter 240 by 400 for this particular AM or PM slot, I'm not even going to be able to select it. Now, there are other things, inventory management, whatever, that you can take advantage of, but that's the basic idea of these slot sales is you have lots of available options, and the inventory ties in directly. Now, this, in particular, the impression side can tie directly into Google Ad Manager to pull in live inventory information based on what we're serving to set that up as a limited inventory. There's no manual creation of, hey, we think we're going to serve 100,000 impressions this month. It all has to be pulled directly from something like Google Ad Manager to manage those impression inventory restrictions. Anyways, pricing, very, very similar. Notes, very similar. Custom fields, very similar. Hit save, and then you're good to go. And so what I'm going to do here is service sales are also an option. So if you're selling a design package or a PR package or a marketing creative package, those can all get set up in your service side. Not going to get into that today, but as I hit save, jump through the last section of this before I get to the preview. And this is just general notes that you want to put on the PDF for the client. Billing information, we will get into this in another video, but you select a credit card, internal comments, installments, things like that, and then you select a template. And so I'm going to choose my multimedia proposal template just so you can see how all of this looks put into a nice clean PDF, which your team has already set up all of these PDFs, and so you likely don't have to come in here and do this every single time. And so next video, what I'm going to do is show how to group, how to arrange the videos or arrange the line items so they show in a certain way. Again, maybe you don't want to show all of the line item details, you just want to show a summary. Okay, we can do that inside the system, and I'll show it to you next week. Actually, not next week, but the following week after that, because next week we're doing a release video. And so here's the template, here's the PDF, signature boxes. We'll get to the signature component in here as well, but that is the basics on how to create an order inside of your system. Now, your site is likely very different than mine, but that's the basic flow. Create the order, set up the contacts, set up the forecasting information, build out the pricing, manage the finance components, and then ultimately see what that contract looks like or that order looks like before you send it over to your customer. So that's it for me this week, guys. I hope this was helpful. If you have questions, comments, concerns, especially about those new digital media modules, feel free to reach out directly to me or directly to your account manager. They can help show you a little bit about what those do in more detail than I did today. And of course, they can get you set up with some free trials so you can try everything out. Okay, have a great week. I'll see you next Monday.